Hello my dear learners, welcome to my channel. In this video series, we are learning the Java programming language with practical demonstration. In the previous video, we discussed about the constructor overloading, these keyword and setter method. To learn that concept, please watch my previous video. Now, in this video, we will learn what are the members of the class practically. So, let's get started. Here, first of all, I am giving you some theory points about the members of the class. Say, for example, what are the member of the class, right? So, I am giving you some points, my students, right? You can just note down this point in your book. So, what are the members of the class? There are various members of the class available in the Java, like class variable, instance variable, then we have initializer block, then we have a class initializer block. First of all, I will discuss about the class variable. Say for example, what is class variable? It is a static variable, no code to create object. Without creating an object, we can access the class variable. It is called a static variable. Only one copy of this type of variable is available. If you have created more than one object for this type of variable, there are only one copy available for the every object. This is called a class variable. It is also called a static variable. If you need to access this type of variable, there no need to create an object to access the particular class variable. Without creating an object, you can access these class variable without object. You can access this, right? And what I said, you only one copy of this type of variable is available. So if you have created more than one variable and more than one object of the particular class, and the class has the class variable, it means a static variable, so that variable will be shared to the every object. If you change the value to the static variable, then the value will be changed for the every object that we have created, right? So this is some points for the class variable. Second, we have the instance variable. The second member of the class will be like as a instance variable. What is instance variable? It is a non-static variable. We have to create an object to access this type of variable. Each and every object has its own instance variable. Say for example, in previous video also we have discussed that if you have created a class and you have created an object of the particular class, then the instance variable of the class will be available for the object that we have created, right? But this type of variable is a non-static variable. If you want to access the non-static variable, means an instance variable of the class, you need to create an object to access the particular instance variable. And each and every object has its own instance variable. Whatever you created, and whenever you are creating an object, if you create many objects, then the instance variable will be accessed by the object only. And every object has its particular instance variable, depends on the class member, right? If the class has 3 data member, it means class has a 3 instance variable. It means a class has a 3 non-static variable. So these non-static variable will be available for the every object. Third member of the class is called a initializer block. It is very interesting and important to understand initializer block. The initializer block is used to initialize the value. It will be executed just before the constructor is invoked, right? In previous video we discussed that, and we learned that also, that whenever an object is created, a constructor will be called, right? But if you want to call some line of code, if you want to execute some line of code before the constructor called, you can use the initializer block. I am repeating that. The initializer block will be executed just before the constructor is invoked. When the constructor is invoked, before the invocation of construction, the initializer block will be executed. It is also known as a non-static block also. So initializer has another name named as a non-static block. You can say a initializer block means a non-static block. Initializer block is very important because whenever you will create an object, the constructor will be called. But if you want to execute some line of code before the call to the constructor, at that time the initializer block will be used. I will give you a practical demonstration for all the class members, so don't worry and stay tuned in this video. Okay, so the fourth member of the class will be a class initializer block. It is a third member, say for example initializer block, and fourth is the class initializer block. What is class initializer block? It will be executed only once whenever a class is loaded. It is called a static block also. So the class initializer block, there are only one point. It will be executed only once whenever a class is loaded. When your class is loaded into the memory, this initializer block called a class initializer block will be executed. It is also called a static block. So when your class is loaded into the memory, at that time this line of code, this initializer block will be executed, and the class initializer block is called a static block, right? It is a static block also. The fifth member is the instance method. So what is instance method? It is a non-static method. First of all, remember this point in your mind. Remember guys, no instance method is a non-static method. We can call this method by using object, right? If you have a class and in that class you have created a method, so if you want to call that method, you need to create an object. That is why I told you we can call this method by using object. If you want to call that particular method available into the class, you need to create an object. Without object you cannot call a instance method. If you want to call an instance method, or it's called a non-static method also, then you need to create an object for the particular class. The sixth member of the class is a class method. There are difference between instance method and a class method. What is class method? Class method is a static method. First point is class method is a static method. We can call this type of method without creating object of the class. It is very interesting and important also. If you have created a class, in that class you have created a static method, it means a class method. So at that time you do not need to create an object to call this type of method. So how you can do that? We can call this type of method by class name and using a dot operator. So I will give you the practical demonstration for these also, right? Currently I am just giving you some theory points. So to call a static method, it means a class method. You do not need to create an object. So you can call the static method by using a class name and a dot operator. So you have to write class name first and then dot and then your method name. That is why we can say we can call this type of method by class name and a dot operator. So you need to write the class name first and you need to write a dot, and then you can call the particular static method. Static method is also defined in the particular class. So this is what we can call a class method. It is a static method. We can also call this type of method as a static method also. So these all are the members of the class available. There are seventh number of member available in the class. It is called a constructor. Constructor, that is we have already discussed in the previous lecture. It is used to create a new object as well as it is used to initialize the value. So there are two main uses of the constructor. First, it is used to create a new object. Whenever you want to create a new object, then at that time constructor will be called. As well as it is used to initialize the value. If you want to initialize the object with the particular value, then the constructor will be used. So these seven are the members of the class available in the Java. And one more point is, you cannot access non-static variable in static context, because static load first, you can access only static variable in a static method. This is also most important point. I am repeating the sentence. You cannot access a non-static variable in the static context. In the static block, you cannot access the non-static variable. Why? Because static load first, a static variable load first, you can access only static variable in the static method, because the static variable is loaded first into the memory, so you can access only static variable in the static method. That is another point that I will definitely cover in my practical session. So that is what I have given you, some theory points for the members of the class. Okay, so now I am just creating a folder to give you the practical demonstration. In the Java folder, I am creating a new folder name as a class members, and here I will save a file, creating a new file. Say for example, file name is employee demo1.java. I am giving you the practical demonstration and real life example. So I will create a class name as employee demo1, and in that I will writing main method, and another class I am creating, say for example a name as a employee. So we have created a class name as a employee. So employee has its own instance variable. Say for example, integer emp number, string emp name means employee name, semicolon employee number, employee name, semicolon integer employee salary, semicolon. So here we have created 3 instance variable of the class. That is what we have called an instance variable, right? It is a member of the class. There are 3 instance variable available in the employee class, and these all are the members of the class. So how you can access these member into from the main method? For that you need to create an object of the employee class, right? So I am creating an object, say for example employee E1 equal to new employee. So here what we have created an object name as E1, and the constructor will be called when the object is created, right? So that constructor is called, and assigning the default value integer, default value 0, string default value null. That is assigned automatically by default, because we do not have written the constructor in the class. So that constructor is called, and the default value will be initialized into the object. Like employee number will be initialized with 0, a string emp name will be initialized with null, and employee salary will be initialized with 0. So I am just assigning the value from here. E1.emp number equal to 101. E1.emp name equal to, say for example, let's say Virat, semicolon, and E1 dot employee salary equal to, let's say for example 60,000, semicolon. So here we have accessed the instance variable using the object name as a E1. So E1 is object. So you have to create an object if you want to access the instance variable, right? Now I am just printing the value system.out.println E1.employee number emp name plus concatenating with a string plus E1.employee number plus concatenating with a string E1.employee's salary. Okay, now save the file. Now I just want to run the file. I am opening cmd, okay, and I am migrate to the particular location where this file is saved. So our file is saved in the class member folder, java c employee demo1.java. I am compiling the file java c. So I am saving a file in the java folder in the class member employee demo1.java, and now I am compiling the file java c employee demo1.java. Compile successfully. I am running the file java employee demo1. Enter. So we have in the output Virat 101 and 60,000. So what we have done? We have created the object of the particular class, and then we have accessed the instance variable of the particular class, and then we have assigned the value to the instance variable of the object, and then we have printed it. The instance variable is also called a property for the object. So here now what we will do, we will create a variable, say for example string organization name, say for example cricket board. So here I am creating a name as a cricket board, creating an object as a cricket board India, right? So employee, particular employee has a cricket board, it is an instance variable, and you can directly assign the value from here also in the class instance variable. You can directly assign the value. So what I will do, I will concatenate this cricket board with a plus sign. I am concatenating with string e1 dot, I will write cricket board, CRIC, cricket board. Save the file, and now I am compiling the file, running the file. We will have the India as a out. So cricket board that we have assigned as a in the class, and we have directly accessed by the object, right? So now what I am doing is I am just making this variable as a static. So now the cricket board variable is a static now. So now as we discussed before in the theory, if you want to access this static variable, you do not need to create an object, right? If you have a static variable in the class, and you can access this static variable without creating an object by using the class name and dot operator. So this is what we are calling a class variable. It is also called a static variable of the class. Remember guys, right? So here we have created a instance variable, employee number, employee name, employee salary, and then we have created a class variable. So you need to access that, so you not need to create an object, right? Currently you can directly compile the file, and when you run the file, the output will be there. The static number can be accessed by the object, but static variable can be accessed without object also. Say for example here we have created object name E1. What I will write? I will write, say for example employee is our class name. So I will write, okay, so there are typo error. I am just changing the class name and constructor name. Okay, so now I'm just creating an employee, and you have to use dot operator, employee dot cricket board equal to, now I'm changing the value from, say for example India to Australia, right? Say for example. So now the employee E1 object has the property name as a cricket board, and we have changed the value of the particular variable without creating an object by using class name. Compiling the file, running the file. Now we can see in the output the value of the cricket board will be changed in the output. Say for example, we are getting the Australia as an output. So we have accessed that class variable without creating an object by using a class name and a dot operator. So this is called a static variable, also called a class variable. Okay, so this is a class name. You can go directly with the object also. I am just saving the file. If you write e1.cricketboard, compiling the file, and if you run the file, there is also possible way to access the variable and change the value. You can directly change that particular value of the variable, because the variable is a static, and using the class name and dot operator you can access the particular variable because the variable is a static variable. So now what I am doing is I am making it a final. Okay, so it is also a very good concept. Now a variable is a static and final. So final variable, the value of the variable cannot be changed now. It means that the cricket board equal to India will be initialized default. I am just compiling the file and running the file. We are getting an error, cannot assign a value to final variable. Say for example on line number 17. So a variable is a final. You cannot change the value of the final variable by using the object or without object by class name also. Right? Employee dot cricket board, what we have done, now I change to the object to the class name. Employee dot cricket board equal to Australia, compiling the file, the same error, we cannot assign the value to final variable. So if you have created a variable as a final, then that final variable, the value of that final variable cannot be changed by using a object and by using a class name also. So final variable, the value of the final variable will remain the same. You cannot change it. So variable is a static also. You can access that variable without creating an object, but this variable is a final. So you cannot change the value of the particular variable. So employee is our class. We can access these property like as a cricket board using the class name, but it is also not possible because the variable is final. Now I am just giving you another way. Say for example, system.out.println. I am writing math dot, say for example, pi. So math is a inbuilt class available in the Java. I am just compiling the file. Okay, so I just need to change it. I'm just commenting the line, compile again and run the file Java employee demo1. You will have the value of the pi value, right? So math is a inbuilt class available and pi is a variable, final variable available in the math class. So this pi is a variable, instance variable of the math class. You can directly access to the class name, and the pi is also a static variable because here we have accessed this variable with the class name. So class name as a math has the pi variable as a static. Math.pi equal to, say for example, 3.14f semicolon, right? I just want to change the value. Compiling the file, we are getting a error over here. Cannot assign a value to the final pi, say for example, right? So you can see that the value cannot be changed by the particular class name because the pi is a final variable. You can use that because we as an output we got the value of the pi. You can use that, right? But you cannot change it. Why? Because these pi variable, pi instance variable is a static and a final. So it is a static, that's why you can access by using a class name, but it is a final, that's why you cannot change the value of the variable. So this is a very good example for the static and a final variable. Okay, so in this program we discussed the static variable. It's called a class variable, instance variable, a constructor, object, and the final and static variable. Now I am just copying the code and paste it into the new file employee demo2.java. Okay, so first of all I will save the file employee demo2.java. I am giving you the another demonstration, okay, for the rest of the member of the class. So this is a class variable, this is an instance variable, and here what we will do is I am just copying this line, and here are the instance variable, and the value is initialized by these. Now this is going to be a very interesting demonstration because in that we will cover a static block, initializer block, constructor, and all the things. So here I will create a constructor, say for example employee, and this constructor has the parameter name as, say for example, integer employee number, comma, string employee name, comma, integer employee salary. So this constructor has three arguments, three parameters. So this is why the employee name and this the instance variable, the name of both are same. So I need to use this keyword, this dot employee number equal to employee number, semicolon, this dot employee name equal to employee name, semicolon, this dot employee salary equal to employee salary. That these concept we have covered in the previous video, right? So I am just removing this line of code. So now what I need to do is I just need to pass the value from here. Say for example 100, the employee name is Virat and the employee salary is 50,000. So I am passing this value to the constructor employee name, and the object will be initialized, and then we can print the value by using the object, right? I am just copying the file, creating another object, say for example e2 dot, and I am just changing the value, say for example Rohit, and here say for example 90,000, copy, and then e2 dot employee name, e2 dot number, e2 dot salary, and e2 dot cricket board. So now we have two objects, e1 and e2, and the value of the both objects are different. By we have assigned this value, we have initialized this value by using the parameterized constructor. So I am just compiling the file javac employee demo2.java. I'm running the file java employee demo2. As you can see in the output, we have Virat and Rohit. Both are available as in the output, right? So employee number is initialized, employee name is initialized. Now I am creating another method. Say for example, void show employee. Now I am just creating a method by to show the value. Say for example, println. What I am doing is I am printing employee name plus with the concatenating with the string. Now employee number plus in concatenating with the string and plus employee salary plus we want to give the output for the for all the values. So here I will write the cricket board. Okay, cricket board is our variable. So here I am just saving the file. So I just need to remove that println statement from here because we have method to call e1 dot show employee. I have called the method and e2 dot show employee. So this method is called two times with the different object. So all the values will be available for the different object because the initialization is done for the every object by using the parameterized constructor. Now you can say in the output is same, but now what we have done, we have created a method of the class. This is a constructor that we can say a constructor over here, and this is what we have created class method. It is also a member of the class. I hope you are getting this point. This is a constructor, a class method that I told you in the theory concept, right? So class method here in the example, as an example, the method name is show employee is a class method. You can access this class method. You can call this method. Sorry, this is not a class method. This is just a simple method. You need to create an object. Now I am creating a static method, static void, say for example display. Okay, so display, I am creating a method name as a display, and this method is a static method. This is called a class method. Show emp is just a simple method and display is a class method. System.out.println, I am writing over here, say for example, so I will write cricket board over here only, right? So whenever I call a display method, the value of the cricket board will be in the output, right? But the display method is static method, okay? So static method you can call without creating an object. So it is also a static method. You can say main is also a static method, right? So to call a main method, you do not need to create an object. Here what I am doing is I am calling a method employee dot display. So to call this display method, you do not need to create an object. You can call this method by using class name and a dot operator. Class name and a dot operator. This display method will be called because this is a static method, and static method will be called without creating an object. So now I am saving the file, compiling the file and running the file. As you can see in the output, as a first line we got the India, right? Because we called employee.display method and then Virat and then Rohit. So that display method is a static method. We can call this method as a class method. I am repeating that, my friends. Show employee is a simple method and the display method is a class method. You can also call a static method also. This is a very interesting concept. All the members of the class will be available in this demonstration, in this practical. This is a non-static method. You can say a show employee is a non-static method. It is a simple method available in the class. It is a non-static method, and display is a method. It is a static method available in the employee class. So to call a display method, you do not need to create an object because it is a static method. You can call the static method by using a class name and a dot operator, as we have called in the line number 27. So here we have discussed a class variable, instance variable, constructor, static method and a non-static method and object. So now we are moving further ahead. what I am doing is I am creating, okay, so these are the instance variable assigned with the particular using the parameterized constructor. There are three argument of the constructor: employee number, employee name, and employee salary, and three instance variable of the class available: employee number, employee name, and employee salary, right? So now what I am doing is here I am writing the default constructor system.out.println. It is a default constructor, so I will write over here. I am copying in the new file employee demo3.java. This is a third demonstration for the members of the class. So here I am creating a constructor name as employee. It is a default constructor, so I will write the system.out.println. It is a default constructor. I will write in the string, it is a default ult constructor. Okay, saving the file, default constructor called. Okay, so whenever we create an object, say for example I am creating another object e3 equal to new employee, so that constructor will be called, and then we assign the value to the particular object. Compiling the file, I am running the file using java employee demo3. As you can see in the output, the default constructor called are the last line of our output, right? Why? Because we called this default constructor for the e3 only. Now I am creating a static block over here. It is called any class initializer block. So here a static block, we can say it is a class initializer block. I told you in the theory concept, it is a class initializer block. Okay, so I have created the static class initializer block over here. It will be executed only once when the class is loaded. So what I am writing is I am just printing a statement to get the output properly. And to understand, what I will write over here is class initializer block will be called only once whenever class is loaded. Whenever a class is loaded. So this is a, we can say, a class initializer block. So this line will be executed whenever a class is loaded into the memory. So now I am running the file javac employee demo3.java. As we can say in the output, a class initializer block will be called only once whenever a class is loaded, right? So when a class is loaded, at that time the class initializer block will be executed, right? This is called, I will write over here, you can write over here also, right? And compiling the file and running the file, the output will be same. It is not necessary to write the static block before the constructor. You can write the static block, you can write the class initializer block in the class at anywhere, right? So here what the class initializer block is written by the static and a curly brackets. It's called a class initializer block. It will be loaded into the memory when it will be executed when the class is loaded into the memory, right? And now I will write only curly bracket start and curly bracket over. It is called a initializer block. This is a very interesting concept of Java. It is called a initializer block. So I will copy this and paste over here. It is called initializer block. Copy the println statement also and paste it over here. Now what is initializer block that we have discussed in the starting of the video? Initializer block will be executed every time just before constructor called. So when a constructor called, before the calling of the constructor, the initializer block will be executed, right? But if you do not write in the code, so you cannot get the benefit of the initializer block. So when a constructor is called, before the call of the constructor, the initializer block will be executed and it will be executed every time just before the constructor called. So when you call the constructor, for the example, if you want to create an object, you will call a constructor. So at that time, before the calling of the constructor, the initializer block will be executed. Now I am saving the file. This is what we have covered all the members of the class in our program demonstration. Class variable, instance variable, constructor, static method, non-static method, class initializer block and initializer block. So these all are the members of the class. You can use these members of the class in your program, in your application, in your software. I am compiling the file now. Now I am running the file using Java employee demo 3. As you can see in the output, first line is class initializer block will be called only once when the class is loaded. Then as an display method, we call display method, that's why we got an India. Then a initializer block will be executed every time just before constructor called. Then we call a method name as a show emp. Then we create an object. So first of all the initializer block will be executed and the constructor is called and value is assigned and that value will be displayed by the show employee method, right? And then we have created another object named as E3. So initializer block will be executed and then the default constructor called. That is what we are getting into the output. So that's all from my side in this video. In the next video, we will discuss about method overloading. Method overloading is also interesting and very important to learn. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you guys.